Hey guys, it's Blake and Carson from Head Outdoors. We're going to try something new here. We're going to try a little podcast while there's no hunting season in. It gets boring. But I wanted to sit down with Carson today, and he completed his single season slam for turkey. And I would love to hear how that all went down. So I want to hear the first state and when the date was, everything.
Okay.
First bird.
So this one was actually pretty unique for me. I'm an April Fool's baby, they call it. So April 1st is my birthday. I was actually guiding Osceola turkey hunts in South Florida in the Okeechobee area. I was guiding for 3-4 weeks. You know, the month of March is when the Osceolas really get hot out there in Florida. So they're on fire, you know, and my birthday rolls around. I'm like, man, I should really take a day off, go do something I've never done before. And the opportunity presented itself. I got out and was able to get a day to myself to hunt, and harvested my first Osceola ever with a guy named Sean Ingram. Just a really awesome, God-fearing Christian dude. And he knows where the birds are. So if you guys need an Osceola yourself for the slam, or maybe you're in Florida and you just want to go turkey hunting, hit up Sean Ingram. You can find him on Facebook and all the socials, but things just kind of rolled from there. So in Florida, for those of you who have or maybe haven't ever hunted turkeys in Florida, the big thing is orange groves. So the orange groves in Florida, I like to compare them to apple orchards here at home in Pennsylvania, which are everywhere. That's how the orange groves are in Florida. So essentially, the turkeys, they get so hot in that Florida heat that they like to actually sit under the big orange trees in the groves, and they seek shade under those trees. So there's a spot with a big orange grove and a small patch of timber there by the groves, and we were on some birds there at first light, and we just couldn't get on them then once they flew down and hit the ground. So we hit up a different spot, and it was actually another orange grove, and they're super tough to hunt in the midday hours, and they huddle up together under these trees for shade, and sometimes they'll strut, especially if they got hands with them. So got fortunate enough to find one with some ladies, and got my first ever Osceola on my birthday at about 11:30 in the morning, actually, which is pretty late to kill turkeys. So it was just written in the stars, and it was really an awesome hunt. So that was leg one of my unplanned, unexpected, first ever single season slam.
So, knowing me, Carson gets so irritated with me every time I ask, but what kind of snakes do you have to deal with down there? I'm absolutely terrified of them, and that keeps me away from most places.
So I actually have a really funny picture and story, I guess. That particular day, nothing. No snakes that day, but just guiding in Florida, we were doing a lot of like controlled burns to promote new habitat growth in future years, and make better turkey habitat. And yeah, we ran into a huge rattlesnake. I'm about 6'1", and it was just a hair taller than I am. So that's a pretty big snake, and anything bigger than I am is something to be concerned about. So, so anyways, there are plenty of snakes there. Wear snake boots, or don't be an idiot. Please watch where you're going if you ever hunt Florida.
So that was it for your Osceola. I remember you going with Philip Culpepper. You said about you were working for him, and I think the next turkey you killed was a Rio in Texas.
Yeah, it was.
So
Yep.
tell me about that.
So let's see here. It's about the second or third week of April. I'm actually back home doing some editing, and I got a phone call. It's Philip Culpepper. He says, "Hey, I'm going on this trip. It's about 10 days long, give or take, and like it's going to be, you know, it's going to be a lot of hard work, but it's going to be fun. Like, are you in?" And anyways, did that. It was called the 7-Day Slam. I'll actually link it right up here for you guys if you want to check that out on Philip's page. But anyways, yeah, we got the slam done in 7 days for Philip, and man, he's just such a great guy, and gave me an opportunity that I really wasn't looking for at all. Wasn't expecting it, and you know, it went down. So let's see, we started off in Florida, and we actually finished half of Philip's slam, half of it in one day. So that was awesome. We were in South Florida that morning. He killed a longbeard right off the roost, which again, you'll see all these videos linked up above. We went to North Florida then in the evening, and he actually killed an eastern then that day. So he got half of it done in a day, which was awesome because we allocated 7 days. Then from there we went to Texas, and man, what a fun time it was in Texas. Again, really wasn't expecting to kill a bird myself, but he bought me a tag, surprised me, bought me a tag, bought me a license in Texas, and I was able to kill a Texas Rio, one of the most beautiful turkey hunts you'll probably ever see. Shout out to my buddy Ethan Honecker that films for Phillip. Gorgeous footage, probably some of the best turkey footage you can find on the internet. So got that bird down, and I'm halfway done now. So at this point for me, I guess reality kind of started to settle in. Like, I might actually have a chance at this single season slam that wasn't planned. I never intended to do that this season. It was something you always think about and something on your bucket list, but not anything I ever thought would happen this year, especially, which is last year now. But
because you live in Eastern country, so
Right.
say you come home, kill an eastern, you're 3 out of 4.
Right.
So you might as well just finish it off.
sure.
But so you kill one, you kill your LCO in Florida, go over to Texas with Phillip and kill your Rio, and then I think you come back home, and me and you head down to Caden's, right?
Exactly. So came home. Blake was actually getting married that summer, and now you look at the timeline, we're into May. We're into like the first week of May. So it was right before Pennsylvania season to open up, which, as you guys know, is where we're based out of. So come back home, meet up with Blake, and it was pretty much a turn and burn. So we go from, I was coming back in from New Mexico. I meet up with Blake, and we go straight from Pennsylvania to Tennessee. We met up with our buddy Caden Edwards and Carter Gibson from Southern Boys Outdoors. Man, not many words for that hunt. Just an awesome time. Those are some great, good old Southern boys, as they say. No pun intended, I guess. But started out, it was the 3 of us that first morning, and we have a video out on that one already. But started out, it was the 3 of us that first morning. We hit up a place that there were some really non-vocal birds at, and he had a cellular trail camera there, and he knew they were showing up pretty regularly. So we hit that spot up first morning. We heard them gobbling. It was a weird morning. It was like kind of wet. They stayed on the roost really late, and when they flew down, again, as that bird was doing, it just wouldn't talk. So we couldn't get on that bird. We split up then the next day, and with my buddy Carter Gibson, we were able to put down a beautiful Tennessee double in Rocky Top. So check that video out, guys. Seriously, that's just an awesome hunt. Shout out to him for getting us on him. But man, what a great time. And as I was saying, Blake was getting married then about a month later, so it was kind of like our little bachelor party for him, and sure turned out great. We got a beautiful double, and we actually killed 3 birds in, I guess, 2.5, 3 days on that trip. So man, that was pretty awesome.
So you're at 3 out of 4 now. You just needed one more. And Carson messaged me about coming along. They were going out to Washington. It was him, Micah from Head Outdoors, and then Caden from Tennessee that we just hunted with. I wasn't able to go. It was a week before I was getting married, and I probably wouldn't have got married if I would have went along. But yeah, they traveled out to Washington, and it sucked to stay home, but I loved hearing all the phone calls and everything. And how'd you finish it off?
So Blake, put your earplugs in, shut your ears, because this was one of the best, the greatest. I'm trying to find words for it. Probably one of the most incredible turkey hunting experiences of my life. I'm not sure that I'll ever experience something like that again. I do have plans to go back there in future years if we don't make it back this year. But I've never seen as many turkeys as I saw there, and I've never been a part of so many turkey kills and successes that we experienced out there. So myself, Micah, Caden Edwards from Southern Boys, we went out there on a whim, kind of. I thought to myself, let's see, I have 3 out of 4 of my slam done. This is super real now to me that a single season slam is actually very realistic. And so anyways, what Blake actually didn't mention was I actually went to South Dakota first and struck out there myself. I'm not going to lie, I did swing and a miss a couple times out there. That always bites, but you dust yourself off and get back up and you just keep hunting. So could have already had my slam done by this point, but we're entering the last 4 days of Washington season, and we went down for 3 of them. So last week in May, and the 3 of us go down. We hate that Blake couldn't go, but the 3 of us go down, and just what an awesome time. This video will actually be coming out this spring. Not sure when yet exactly, but be looking for it. Washington turkey hunting, and it's where I get my slam bird at, as I call it. But first evening, we fly in. We all show up at the same time, about early afternoon-ish or so in Washington. We get a rental car, of course. We start driving out to the couple spots that I actually have landowner permission at. And anyways, the first evening, we were able to do a little bit of scouting. Nothing too serious, as it was getting dark pretty soon. But we were able to see some birds, lay eyes on them at properties that we could hunt and that we did have permission on. And from there, we kind of went to bed knowing where to find a couple birds at. So we woke up the next morning, and it was so funny too. Like, everything changes when you're out west. Like, time change is a big thing that you might not think a lot about. So we get out there, which is what we thought was earlier than early. We feel like it's just super early, and we have, gonna have a lot of time to get set up and sneak in there. And anyways, we get there at around 3:45 a.m. because, of course, there's a 3-hour time difference from there to here. We get there about 3:45 a.m. We're thinking, yeah, we're going to sit in the vehicle a few minutes and then get in there. We didn't even have our guns out of the vehicle yet, and we could hear them gobbling on the limb at like 3:30, 3:45 a.m. It's like, here, that's in the middle of the night. There, that's early morning. So just different experiences all across the board, and going after these white-tip Merriams. So we were able to sneak in without busting all these birds off the roost. And I don't want to give away too much of the hunt because the video hasn't come out yet, but basically this gobbler, he was roosted separate from a bunch of hens, and we were able to entertain the hens long enough to keep the gobbler around. And we had a strutter decoy staked out in the middle of a field, and yeah, he saw him and he came in and was ready to fight. So it was pretty much game over from there, and a bunch of celebration from there. So just really awesome experience, and I can't wait till you're able to go out there with us and I'm able to share that piece with you.
That's great. So Florida Osceola, Texas Rio, Tennessee Eastern, and you got your Merriam in Washington to finish it off.
That's correct. And we actually were able to kill 9 birds in 2.5 days. So Washington's a 3-bird state for the spring season, and there was 3 of us down there. We each killed 3 birds. So super blessed and fortunate that we even were able to get there. And man, just what a time. I'm so excited to share this film with you guys. I really think you're going to love it. And I mean, that pretty much wraps up my single season slam. Pretty unique for me, and just feel blessed to be able to have done it. And I think the best part about it was that it wasn't planned. There's nothing wrong with planning a single season slam. I think that's great, and that's what I probably would have done otherwise. And just some way, somehow, this just came to be unplanned and just fell right into place. So feeling super thankful, and just some awesome experiences.
So 4 different states, and that's 4 totally different terrains.
Yeah.
I'd like to know your favorite, not your favorite hunt, your favorite hunt with the terrain, and your least favorite hunt with the terrain.
All right, let's see here. So I'm thinking least probably has to be Florida. No hate to the Floridians. I don't even know if that's a word. No hate to you guys from Florida. But Sean, he made it as awesome as it could have possibly been. It was a great hunt, great experiences, all across the board, at every state. But just as far as the landscape and not how the hunting was, probably Florida is fourth on the list. And then let's see here. Probably
swampy? Or you're not
so
swampy?
it was actually really dry where we were. So it was like in between those orange groves, it's like you could swipe like this and it'd be nothing but like sand in your hands. And sand in your hands, the way that rhymes, reminds me of ants in your pants, because there are so many fire ants in Florida, and so many little like sand mounds with ants, fire ants in them, and they will literally crawl up your pants, and they're a nightmare to deal with. So Florida probably is last on the list. Number 3, I would probably put Texas. I really like Texas, but probably 3 is Texas. And again, I say all this because it's just so much different than what I grew up with here at home and Blake grew up with, and just way different. But I would probably say Florida, Texas, and then I would go Tennessee and Washington. It's so far from home, but there's just a little piece of Washington that feels like home. Just gorgeous country, gorgeous terrain, and you better be prepared to walk when you go there, because if you can't find them on the flatland there in Washington, fields and such, man, you will be walking, and it's not easy walking. Super high elevation there in Washington, but just so beautiful out there, and the big tall pines, and just really a really awesome place.
When you think of Washington, you're thinking of these massive, at least me, I'm thinking of these huge mountains, and you're climbing, trying to get these turkeys, and it doesn't sound like it was really mountainous.
So where we found the birds and where we were actually able to get access to hunt them, it wasn't that way. So you could say we lucked out, I guess. We were able to find some really cool landowners that actually didn't like turkeys, believe it or not. I mean, it's hard for me to imagine that I would have such a dislike for turkeys to say, yeah, come shoot them all, or, whatever. But so it's mind blowing to me, but a lot of these people in Washington and a lot of the landowners, they just don't like turkeys. And the ones that you find that do actually have a lot, they find that, they destroy the land, they eat the crops or whatever it may be, and they're more just pests. So we are glad to do some exterminating for them. And if you're watching this and you're considering going to Washington to hunt turkeys, it's a horrible place to hunt. Definitely don't go there. But seriously, it's a great place. And if you're a traveling turkey hunter, or even if you're really not, I still encourage you to get out there, whether it be season or not. Just explore all that the state has to offer. It's a gorgeous place. And if it is season, go get yourself a license and go hunt some turkeys. So it's an awesome place.
My last question I had for you was, so not every trip, just the day you killed, what was the weather like for each day?
So let me see here. So the first kill day, and you figure when you kill 9 birds amongst 3 people in 2.5 days, you're going to find that like you're killing a lot of turkeys each day, right? So right off the roost for the very first hunt that you guys are going to see on film, we'll drop that video here shortly. That hunt was very humid first thing in the morning. There was a lot of fog that had to lift, and I was actually worried, at least here in Pennsylvania, sometimes that'll quiet the birds, and it totally did not in Washington. So I guess that's another just tip for you guys if you're watching this and you are a turkey hunter yourself. Don't think that how it is in your home state hunting is how it is everywhere, because it's just not true. Whether you're in Alabama, Arizona, or here in Pennsylvania or in Washington, everything's going to be different in various states. So just keep an open mind, and like I said, if we were to go out there again, I'll know, hey, these birds are literally awake and talking at 3:30 in the morning, which is vigorous with the time change and depending on when you get there. And man, I got to get proper sleep, and the whole thing. It seriously can be vigorous, and especially trying to have a clear mind to hunt these birds and outsmart them on little sleep with little energy. But this is what we live for. This is what we love to do, and I wouldn't want it any other way.
That's great. Well, it's pretty impressive. I think we started hunting turkeys in high school, and it didn't take you long to get your single season slam.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Again, just feeling super thankful and glad I can tell you guys the story and share it with you. So I guess just the highlight of this podcast here is just keep an open mind. You never know what's in store for you, I guess, in life or maybe just in a single turkey season like we're talking about here. So we really hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and we're going to do a few more of these and kind of just see what you guys think. So be sure to leave your feedback in the comments, like and share it, subscribe, and do all the things. And we'll be coming back with some more content and some more podcasts. And come on turkey season. So we'll see you guys on the next one.
congrats, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.